ahead and push that. Well, I guess we'll just go around, and since we got a couple of new people, kind of new, I think I know everybody, but except for Ashley, I don't know. So we'll just go around. So I'm just gonna go by who's in front of me first. So Mel, you can go
Hi,
ahead and introduce yourself.
so I think I know everybody on the call by now. And Ashley's a close friend to me, so she's new face to you guys, but not to me. But I'm a co-leader with Omar and Jodi in the wellness community. And my vision for my community is to just help in any aspect of healing through yoga, meditation, sound healing, physical therapy. I'm a licensed physical therapy. So this is physical therapy.
We know
Licensed.
that's that pregnancy brain getting you again. We're gonna keep making fun of you about that. You know that, right? Hey, Amy.
Got into the health and wellness field. Hey, Amy. Through my physical therapy background, and then it just expanded from there. I just love to continue to learn and grow in any aspect that I can possibly, and Convene has been the perfect place to just continue to put my content out there and try to build an online community so I can help and serve more people around the world. All right.
Love it. All right, I guess I'm next, so I'll go. Hi everyone, my name is Jodi Watkins. I'm the co-leader for the health and wellness community, and then I have my own personal community. I do life, health, and business now. And that's just been with my own personal journey. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've learned a lot of things the hard way. And so one of the things that I did really well when I was in the military was relate to people and mentor. So I'm kind of just going back to that. And I love seeing other people win. I love encouraging other people. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I am a certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, health coach with an MBA, all those things. But I always say it's not the titles that matter, it's who you are that matters. So I'm just learning how to use my gifts and my strengths to encourage and inspire other people. And I love being able to help other people do that. So that's a little bit about me. So let's go to Ashley. You're next.
Hello, I'm new to the group. I'm a teacher by day, and I just became a travel agent by night for Disney. It's just something that we love, but we also do cruises, and we can book a bunch of different things. Yeah, that's basically it.
I'm sure we'll learn more as we go.
Yeah.
You're a teacher too, so that might be
I
something
am.
for one of the other communities. We won't talk about that right now. We don't want to oversaturate you just yet, but we will. We will later. We'll open those doors later. All right, Omar, you're next.
How's it going? I'm Omar, personal trainer. Been training for 4 years. Been Convene for like over 2 years. And I'm part of this community. I'm one of the leaders. But I joined because I want to help people. I want to reach out to as many people as possible. And with training, and well, I used to ride bulls for like 14 years, so I used to go through injuries and stuff like that. That's why I wanted to get into physical therapy and then transition into personal training while keeping that consistency on that right track to get there. But yeah, just to overcome those injuries, overcome any barriers that you may have to have a fun and long life being active. So
Yeah. And Omar is one of the guys that showed me kind of where I belonged a little bit more. Because he actually went through the coaching mentorship that I was able to do, and being able to watch him grow and develop has really made me happy. So I think I'm gonna stay there. All right, Amanda, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I have to mute because I got two wild ones in the back screaming and crying. But Jodi has helped me through a couple of things and everything like that. And so just trying to get back into the Convene community again. My husband is currently starting a business, and so we just need to start networking and all that good stuff. So anywhere that we can network at, that's what we're trying to do. So yeah. And then this is Finley. You say hello.
Hey.
You say hi, everybody. They're ready to go swimming soon. So the neighbor kids are coming
Nice.
over to go swimming. So he's already ready in a swimsuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I am a brand manager for community hospice and palliative care here in Jacksonville. So that's my day job too. So
Yeah, I'm waiting on her to clear some time off her plate so she can help me out with some of these videos and stuff.
that too. Yes, I'm getting there too.
We'll get there. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you showing up, Amanda. I know you got a lot going on, so thanks for taking some time out.
Yes.
All right, next we got Jeff.
Hey guys, Jeff Bateson, leader of let's see, soccer community, uniquely you and yours, co-leaders, a couple other things, but I've been with Convene for quite a while. Just hopping on to listen to you guys, support you guys, and Ashley, heard you're a teacher. I'm also a teacher. I was a lifelong soccer coach, and now I'm a high school teacher. And there is a teachers community. We just we put it in archive for a little bit, so. I know you want to get the travel agency going, but if you're interested in talking a little teaching, let me know. So I'm just going to mute and kind of listen in on you guys. So, yep.
As a parent of a middle schooler, I would love for teachers to teach other teachers. Anyway, Amy, speaking of.
I got you on that one.
Speaking of the education system.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy. So I am also with the Uniquely Your and You family community. I also have my own community about empowering parents. I've been with Convene since the beginning of the year. But my health journey has started right after I have my kids. So I have middle schoolers now. So I have twins. So mama needed to make a change because she was extremely unhealthy. And I've been on that journey ever since, and dropped over 100 pounds. I literally just ran in the door from a 3-mile hike as the meeting was started. I was like, whoop, got to get on that. But yeah, it's a journey, it's a process, and I'm always ready to learn. So glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here too. And I mean, one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize, and I have one of my clients, we talk about this all the time, is just because there's, some of us that are more versed in the health and wellness space, we're always learning something, right? Like right now, I showed Amy the other night, like I'm reading this book by John Maxwell because he thought I'm going into keynote speaking, right? Like that terrifies me. And I need to learn something else. And so we're always learning, we're always growing. And so the whole mission behind this is to bring in more experts in the field, but also bring in more people. So that way, because anytime we're trying to learn something new, it can be information overload, right? Like we're just saturated. He talks about that in that book, actually, where we went from not being able to find information to now it's like literally we go in the search bar of Google and 50 million things come up and it's which direction do we go, right? So I'm just grateful that I've been able to connect with certain people over the years. And now, if somebody asks me, like Amanda, her husband's starting a new business, she asked me about that. And I said, hey, you need to talk to, my friend Denise, she's helping me, right? Or, hey, you're starting your business, you're trying to reach more people. Hey, we got this great thing called Convene Communities, and here's my mentor, Matt. And hey, connect with him, right? Like, and so that's the beauty of it, because it can be so much sometimes that it's too overwhelming. And so now if we can bring in people who are like-minded and who have good hearts and aren't just after the money necessarily, then we can actually help a whole lot more people. So that's kind of the mission behind this, is like, if you're into health and wellness, if you're a health and wellness coach, or you're just somebody who's on your journey, which I think we're all on some type of journey, right? Bring them in. We work together, we ask questions, we collaborate. No one is better than anyone else. It's just we have different gifts in different areas, which is great. Right? That's how we should be looking at it. That's great. Because then we can actually thrive. We can share each other's gifts, like, and it just baffles me on how many people don't understand that. And Matt will tell you, like when I first came to Convene, Lenny's coming in right now. So I'll let him introduce himself in a second. But when I first came into Convene, I was thinking small. I did a post the other day on Facebook where it was like 1099 employee versus or I'm sorry, W-2 employee versus 1099. I shared this with Amanda, right? Like it took me a really long time to get out of the W-2 mindset. And I see that with a lot of other coaches, because it's like we're so used to somebody out there putting this low value on us, right? And I know for me, it was very difficult to get to a place where I actually learned that I could value myself more, right? So that's a hard place to be. And if we're trying to do that by ourselves, sometimes we don't get there, you know? So me coming to convene, I was able to learn that, like, oh, there's people that think bigger, right? Way bigger than I ever imagined. And honestly, it was a little it was daunting at first. You know, Matt will tell you, it was very daunting for me at first. It took me probably about a year, a little over a year. But when the light bulb came on, I was like, oh, wait, that's what we're doing. So hopefully you don't take that long, but I'm just one of the stubborn ones that, you know, I try to fight my battles as much as possible. But anyway, that's what we're trying to grow here. So, you know, if you know anybody, that's why I'm grateful that Matt built in the qualified affiliate program. So if you haven't learned about that yet, make sure you go to, you can go inside the health and wellness community and you go to the drop down that says pages, and it'll say quick start, convene quick start. Look at some of those videos, take some time out, look at some of those videos, become a qualified affiliate, because once you do that, anyone you send into the platform, whether they're going to create a group or not, anyone you send into the platform is underneath your referral link. The cool thing about that is if they go and maybe they need some Social Security disability help and they find Lisa Herring, which she's not on here right now, but you know, if they find her, who does that, and they go buy her course, guess who else gets paid? You. And guess who else gets paid? Whoever sent you to the site. And that was the part I didn't get for a really long time. It seemed, I was like, this is too good to be true. So I want to encourage you to not think like that. Don't be like me, and just think abundantly. There is a lot out there. I know that now. There is a lot out there for us, but we have to surround ourselves by the right people. So that's kind of the mission behind this call. Basically, we kind of open up the floor also for anyone on their journey. You know, if you're struggling in some area of life, and I mean, if you think about a wellness, there's really no set limit to what that can be, right? So, I mean, any area of life, you know, if you have any questions, you have a few people on here. Lenny, I want you to introduce yourself here in a second, but you have people on here who have been doing things a little bit longer, who are here to walk beside you and help you on that journey. So welcome, Lenny.
Hey, how are you?
Also, Lenny and Ashley, if you need help figuring out how to get those forms for the affiliate, just let me know. It's free to sign up and do it. It's like a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for me just to do it. Because anybody you onboard or bring in, if they go and shop somewhere else and buy somebody else's course, Jodi's or mine or Omar's or anybody else's courses on the platform, we all, like my course, I think I did give 15%. I think Jodi gives like 50%.
I'm giving like 40 and 50 and 60.
So,
because I want everybody to get paid.
So while you're trying to build yours, you can still like refer to other people. And I think that's like the first kind of steps I took, was just kind of going around each community, joining each community, seeing what they have to offer, getting on some of these calls, networking with people, seeing the services they have. There's almost a call almost every other night between all the communities we have. So I jump on Thursday night, I jump on Josh's community. On Tuesday, I think I network with Laurel. So there, and also hospice, Laurel's a death doula. So Amanda, I'd highly recommend you connect with her if you haven't already. I'm taking her doula course because I was just interested. I was just interested in seeing what it was about. So yeah, just networking and meeting everybody, because the more you know about their courses, every time I meet somebody, I'm like, oh, you know what? You're related to this person. Like, you can go check her out, and then you're making money by just referring and helping each other out.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it too. And I think that's where people kind of get hung up too, because when you say that it's free to sign up and do this, people are like, oh no, that what's the catch? Right? But there's no catch. You just have a man who has a pure heart named Matthew Curran, and he wanted to develop something that could help a whole lot more people. That's the catch. And if that's a bad thing, then so be it. But I'm here, like I'm not going anywhere.
Mhm.
So, all right, Lenny, I want you to come on and introduce yourself since we were kind of going through that earlier.
Okay. I'm on now for a little bit, and then I got to take off again. But
That's okay.
I just finished off doing a training session. So I'm in Long Island, and I have virtual clients. So my virtual client was down in South Carolina just now.
Nice.
So, but I mean, I don't know who's on right now that wasn't on last time, but I'm an orthopedic and sport physical therapist and a performance enhancement specialist. I've been for 40 years and basically done a lot of stuff in the field. I mean, I don't know what more you want me to say, but that's my intro right now. And I've known Melissa ever since she was a little kid. How's that, Melissa?
Yeah.
He was my soccer coach.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for just giving that little bit of spiel. But the main idea is just to let you guys know, like, hey, when you come here, you're not alone. And then if you know anybody that, you know, maybe they're trying to reach more people or help more people and they want to create an online space, you know, bring them to us and we'll kind of take it from there. Matt does have a ton. What were you gonna say?
No, I'll let you finish up, and I was gonna ask you a question, but
I don't even remember. Go ahead.
I brought up to Melissa, and then Tom and I were talking the other day too. I want to be able to find out if I'm going to build the team, which I'm looking to do. I have a number of people that I've actually spoken to about this already, as far as getting a thing going. And instead of just sending some type of email or some type of question type of thing to somebody to try and say, hey, come join my team. Does anybody have any type of form, any type of thing that's like that I can actually that they're using almost like a template to be able to send off to different people that might be interested in getting involved with it? You know what I mean? Like an informative type of thing.
Yeah, I actually have a tab on my website for trainers who are looking to get mentored. It doesn't talk about anything else beyond that. The way I met Omar was putting out on LinkedIn that I was looking, you know, to mentor other coaches. So I'll tell you, the first time I did kind of a search for other coaches was on Facebook. And not to say anything negative, but when you put things out on certain platforms, you get what you're putting out there. So if you think about the caliber of some of the people on Facebook, but you think about the caliber of some of the people on LinkedIn, well, I wanted business owners. I wanted people who thought in business, at least wanted to create a business, right? Or at least wanted to be around other business owners. So when I tried the thing on Facebook, that's not what I was getting. When I tried it on LinkedIn, I got more business-minded people.
Okay.
And so, and you can just put it out as like a general thing, you know, like and if you want, you know, maybe me, you, and Matt can hop on a call or something like that, or maybe, you know, talk to Matt or something. But it really just depends on what you're trying to create exactly, and you know, the caliber of people that you're kind of trying to recruit. So like when I do another push, it's probably going to be on LinkedIn. Like I said, I do have a tab on my website, but you still got to bring people there, right?
Lenny, are you speaking about information about Convene specifically? Or are you speaking about information about your group, or what are you speaking about?
Basically,
specifically?
a combination of some. I'm not looking to post. Okay. I wouldn't put anything for me. I'm not going to put anything that's going to be specific to Facebook or to LinkedIn. I'm looking to target specific people. And I've actually spoken to a handful of people already that are definitely interested. With my background and the fact that I know people around the country. I actually know some people internationally from what I've been involved with over the years. And some of the people I think would actually be a good fit for a team that I'd be able to put together, because it's fitness and rehab. My passion what drives me, my passion that drives me, aside from my family, is fitness and rehab. That's
Lenny,
my
I can
my
help you
mindset.
out with that. What I'll do, and I know you said you had to get off pretty soon. I'll put my email address in the chat. And if you just copy that down, send me an email. I've been with Convene really since the inception, and we have plenty of that sort of stuff. So,
Okay.
So shoot me an email. We'll connect a little bit better and get some more specifics about what you're really looking for, and I'll help
All
you
right.
out with that.
That's where I'm at, because what I'm looking to do, if I'm going to do something like that, I'm not going to basically take somebody else's thing and like don't use the same. I want to use, it's going to have my touch to it, but I want to be able to see what you guys are doing, because I don't want to throw too much information out there. I don't want it to be pushy in any way. I don't want it, you know what I mean? I want it to be something that's going to be, it's going to be something that's going to attract them to the situation, but not only just attract them to the situation and joining my team, but like we're doing right now, to be able to say to them, hey, there's going to be meetings on such a, like Melissa was saying before, she goes to every group's meeting to be able to check out different things. I want to be able to have that opportunity, not just to say, hey, come to me, but to come check this out and see what other resources out there, see how you can actually go about networking through just, different resources, different avenues.
Matt was also saying he's going to have a calendar, right?
Yeah. So Leonard, just send me an email and I'll get with you this week, and we can go through a bunch of that stuff. Yep. Yeah. Awesome.
And one of the things, I mean, Omar might be able to attest to this. Oh, sorry, Mel. I think we were trying to talk at the same
time. Lenny, also, if you ever have somebody that you want to get on a call with, like if they want to set up a time to chat, I can help support you too on the call. So because I know I've been with Convene a little bit longer than you. So anytime you have somebody who's really interested and wants to hop on a call, like I'm happy to do that as well.
Yeah. And that's what these calls are for too. Just throwing that out there. Yeah.
But sometimes when somebody's very new, they want like more of a private, like I did privates with Matt, like for the first week before I felt comfortable going on a group call,
Yeah. Melissa, everybody, the people that I've spoken to already know your name, know your history a little bit from conversation.
That makes it even easier.
That's why I'm actually saying that too. It's kind of like laying the groundwork before.
Yeah. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But I know like when, Omar and them came on, it was kind of by default, they ended up in Convene because that's where I had built out the modules and the training, right? So the back office was all inside Convene. So it was kind of by default, they had to come in. and so I never, I don't think, I mean, Omar, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I really talked about it too much at first, like, especially not in that initial, hey, blah, blah, blah. But then as we got going, then we would get on calls, and that's where the mentorship really started. So there's just different ways of doing it, but like Jess said, reach out to somebody. You don't have to try to figure it out by yourself. That's I think that's probably the most valuable thing I've found by being here. I don't ever have to try to figure it out by myself anymore. I've done enough of that. I don't want to do it anymore.
Because I put for the profile thing, I put like just an overview type of thing I made, and I had put some other stuff in there, and I didn't see, I can't find the other stuff that I put up there. So I don't know. I can always put that back in there again, but I want to actually get involved. Like Melissa even said, suggested the other day to me, to put some stuff up there for blogs. I don't think I can actually do a blog because I don't have a team yet, even though I'm on there with the profile. Or is there a way to go about doing it?
What are you saying? Sorry.
Everybody can write a blog post. Everybody can create an experience in the public community, and the public community reaches a lot more people than who is in your group. So I think that's very important to show the people on the call is how they can make a blog post and how they can make an experience. The only thing when you post it, me, Omar, or Jodi have to approve it, but you can still write the post.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go in here, this is the health and wellness community, right? So if you go in here, you just go into blog, right? And you just put new. And then, anybody can do a discussion board. The experiences, like she said, you can go in and create an experience, right? And if you don't know how to do that, you go here and you watch a video on it. right? It's on here somewhere. There it is. Creating an experience.
Okay.
Right? So there's, you guys, like she was saying, everybody can create that stuff. The discussion board, like I'm trying to get people to I did a whole new video from my community, and one of the things that I do harp on a lot is, hey, I really want you guys to start discussions. Like that's the whole point of this. I want you to come in and create something. And I was telling my husband the other day, or actually this morning we were talking. I said nobody knows it, but sometimes I'll go start discussions anonymously just for the heck of it. So we can do that, because I might have some knowledge in a certain area, but I want to see what everybody else thinks. So sometimes I'll ask a question and I'll just get the responses and I'll post it anonymously. And I think Amy replied to one of mine the other day. I'm letting the cat out the bag, but but I'll do that sometimes. And because I want people, we talk about this all the time, right? We want people to know that this isn't just about us, right? It's how many people can we help?
Okay.
So,
yeah, no, that's actually sounds good, because that's what I wouldn't mind throwing stuff up there. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
heard some of my stuff over the past. So I actually wouldn't mind putting some of that fitness stuff out there, some different approaches, different avenues, different things, ideas, health wise, fitness wise, rehab wise, and just other types of thought processes.
Sounds great. We all need it.
That's what we want. Everybody to contribute. That's what it's about. It's a community. It's not about just it shouldn't just be the leaders posting. It should be everyone putting their thoughts, and then everybody writing replies and responding. And you can choose to respond anonymously if you don't feel comfortable about the subject. And if you have a specific question you want to ask about your health journey, that may be something that's hard for you to say aloud, you have that you can just do it anonymously, which is really nice.
Yeah, that anonymous feature is amazing. And I do, like, I'll ask actual questions sometimes too that I don't want my name attached to. Because I know there's people on this platform that can, kind of walk that journey with me and provide their expertise, and so it creates this space that none of us are alone, and we don't have to be afraid to ask, right? Like we don't have to ball up in a shell and try to figure it out on our own. So that's the beauty of this, and that's why it is great that anybody can come on and create a discussion. Anybody can come on and create an experience. And if you have blogs, copy paste them over here, right? Like it just gives another. Matt says this all the time. It's just another resource. This isn't to take the place of anything that anybody's already doing. It's just a way to help more people in another
Sounds
space.
good.
Great. And also, if you have content on other platforms, like you already have a Facebook group or you already have a YouTube channel, you can literally copy and paste your content from your Facebook group and put it on our blog. Obviously, we're going to review it to make sure it's not offensive or anything, but that's the only thing we're really looking at. We're not really looking at whether we agree with it or not, because I hope I don't agree with a lot of the things that people are doing. Like, that's the whole point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to see other perspectives, and then it can cause a little bit of maybe a debate, or like, that's the whole part of life, you want that stuff.
And it's really fun to watch health and wellness or any kind of professional debate back and forth. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but it's kind of fun sometimes because then you get to formulate your own opinion. And, you get two different ideas and you can be like, well, I think I want to try it this way. And then, whatever. But I think it's great to have different, viewpoints, and we're all different in our own way. So
more than one perspective or more than one approach is always a great thing to have.
Definitely.
Exactly. And I think maybe explain to everybody the difference between when to post in the discussion board, when to post an experience, when to post a blog, because I feel like people don't really know the difference between the three.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'll just share kind of my experience, and then, if Jeff wants to chime in since he's been around even longer than me. But like for me, if I had a blog on my website, or if I just had, something that I'd written, or some people just do videos, right? They'll just post that in the blog section. Maybe they don't want to ask questions. they want feedback, they want interaction, but they don't necessarily want to ask a bunch of questions or any of that thing. So that's usually what I use the blog for.
Yeah, for a blog, you're only going to get replies. So you post questions in the blog. You can't post a discussion board in the blog. It's just literally a post, almost like a newsletter, where it's going to have a writing, a picture, or a video, and then the people can just reply to that, whatever you're saying.
And I do that if I'm limited on time a lot, to be honest. If I don't have the necessarily time requirement to actually create an experience, then I'll make sure I at least get the information out in the blog. The experience I like because you can put information inside like the background, but then you can talk about, you can do a video and talk about, your lesson learned, why, what made you passionate about that, whatever it is, that subject, right? And then you can ask questions and people can answer those questions, and those questions are anonymous. So I like the experience aspect of it because people are actually feel included a little bit more. So it's not just like you're replying to a blog, you're actually, discussions are being had. It's a back and forth thing. It's not like people are just sitting there listening to you or reading whatever you have. They're actually part of that, which is why Matt calls it an experience, because we're experiencing that with each other, kind of thing.
The experiences have a wonderful, like, different things you can do. You can do surveys and experiences, ask questions and experiences. You can post a discussion in the experience. You can put your lesson learned, like your recap of your experience about the experience, And then also what's nice about the experience is when you post it in the public experience, you can also put it in your individual group. So you're not doing double work. So if you post an experience in your group, you can't make it public. So I usually do the public experience first, and then I'll put it in my group. And what's nice about the experience also, you can assign the experience to an individual. So if you have somebody specific that you want to teach something or you want to share with, you can assign it to them within your group.
Yeah, it's got a lot of different features. That's all I'm saying. It's really good to watch that video in there in that quick start, because Matt explains all that. And then you asked about the discussion board. The discussion boards are great for, having those conversations as maybe the subject matter expert or the person that, can answer the question. Like I'll do videos sometimes. Maybe I'll do a quick, it's not a professional video. Sometimes I put it on my phone and just put it on YouTube and post it over. But it's just good because you get those conversations going. And then it becomes the discussion board becomes kind of like a frequently asked questions thing. So, for those of us who get maybe the same questions over and over and over and over, a lot of times I'll just be like, hey, that's a great question. Can you go put that in the discussion board so I can answer it for everybody that asks me? Like, what I'm saying? And of course, not saying it like that, but it's just we start getting these questions over and over, and it's like, hey, I would love it if you would just post this in the discussion board, and that way I can come in and answer it, and a lot more people can get that information. And not only that, but you're not just getting my answers, you're getting other people's responses, right? Like, I have clients that I've worked with for a long time that they can come in and say what worked for them and what hasn't worked for them, right? So now you get that different feedback. So that's what I use each one for. Hopefully that kind of answers the question. I don't know if anybody else wants to piggyback on that.
Yeah, I look at the discussion board as like an FAQ. So like if I'm treating my group as my personal website, pretty much the public community is like social media almost. So like I'm putting it on social media. Now I'm putting it to my specific website. I'm putting it within my group. And then in my website, I can have the discussion board with my frequently asked questions, where I can just share the frequently asked questions with people. Like when they have a question, oh, check out the discussion board, because that's all my frequently asked questions about my group. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then what's nice about your group also, you can email directly and assign things directly to people within your group. So it's also an automatic newsletter or email. It's designed perfectly for business owners because you have like pretty much everything a website would have, but it's more interactive.
Way more interactive. And I'll show you guys something too. And Matt always touches on this. So I thought of it. I'm just gonna open up this one right here. We do have it to where you can share easily on these platforms, right? So you can still use social media. So say you create an experience and you want to get it out to more people, you can get it out right here. You just share it right here, and that has your affiliate link attached as well. The only one we can't do is Instagram, but that's why we have this copy thing here, right? So you can put that in your like your bio, you know, like, hey, link in bio, right? Like, that's what I usually do. So you can still share it out on social media. So when you create, this is one of Mel's experiences, when you create the experience, you know, then you utilize social media to get it out there to more people, and then you're bringing more people to the platform as well. So I mean, they've created this just massive thing. And but the great thing is, you know, we don't have to use everything on it, but it gives us so many other options. For me, I was trying to do, you know, so many different things, and it became very overwhelming. And so I love the fact that I have one place I can go for everything. And I can also connect people to other people in one place.
Right.
So, you know, it's just about learning that part of it. And like I said, just, you know, keeping your mind open to the fact that, hey, if we work together, we can actually do a whole lot more. We're coming up, so it's 11:45 now, and I want to make sure we open this up for anybody that actually has any health and wellness questions. And then if you have any platform questions, we can go over that too. But I just want to make sure we, you know, take advantage of everybody's time. So, you know, if anybody has a question, you have everybody on here right now that we can have on here. But if you have a question in the health and wellness space, go for it. Ask your questions. Anybody? Anybody? Or everybody's really healthy and they don't have any questions. No, I'm joking. But that's what the discussion board's for. Maybe you don't have anything right now, but you think of something later. Just go in the discussion board and post it in there. Any questions at all with everything? Anybody? Y'all are so quiet.
All right, I'll ask a question.
Okay. Thank you.
Suggestions that people would give if you've got kids to help them stay healthy, whether whether they're elementary, middle, or older.
I can definitely. I'm sure everybody can answer this. I can answer this a lot too, because I didn't even realize I was doing it. When I had my daughter when I kind of first started my journey, and she just became my weight. So I would do shoulder presses. She was a baby. Shoulder presses, bicep curls, I'd like lay on the floor, chest press, right? And then as she got older, you know, it just became part of our lives. Like we would get outside, we would go ride bikes, we would, you know, so I'm actually very passionate about that. I always tell parents, like, bring your kids, because if you think about, a lot of us didn't start our journeys until later in life. If we can help our kids start that, like, I have a natural athlete right now and I didn't even know what I was doing back then. So I don't know if anybody else has anything to say on that, but that's me. I always say, bring them along, you know, have fun, let your kids know how fun it can be. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, going in the gym and lifting weights all the time, right? You can go play a sport, you can go to the park, you can go run and ride bikes or whatever. And just have fun with it. So then you're teaching your kids, you're helping them implement these habits early on. So I've actually had to work with parents on that, because they would try to separate it. Or they would be like, well, you know, my family eats this. This is a big one. Omar, you probably hear this all the time. Y'all probably all hear this, right? My family eats this, but I need to eat this. And I'm like, wait, you don't want your family to be healthy?
Yeah, I agree. Because talking about take them with you, like even with walks and stuff like that, we usually have like family walks or even hikes. You said you went hiking, take them with you. Even we bring the dogs and stuff like that. just make it a fun little deal and just go on from that. In regards to like foods and stuff, like Jody was saying, just eat the y'all got to be on the same deal because I mean, I'm not gonna go an extra mile just to satisfy you like with some stuff that you might like. We'll find like a middle ground, like fruits and stuff like that. But overall, just stay on that same kind of healthier side of snacks and meals and stuff like that.
Yeah. And the biggest thing with that is we want to teach them early on that we're not restricting them, right? It's not about, we're not restricting anything. It's just implementing healthier habits. And if we're doing that, right, at Amanda's son's age, like think about how much further along they're going to be later on in life. And you know, we're not putting them on some kind of crazy diet. We're just teaching them better habits and how to implement a healthier lifestyle, you know. And I actually have it was a magazine article that kind of got ran with, but I did an article and I interviewed my daughter. She was 9 at the time. She got diagnosed with ADHD when she was 7. And so we had to really focus on like protein intake and things like that, right? But as she got a little bit older, she kind of started straying away from it. And I was like, wait, like come back. And so I ended up interviewing her for this article. And one of the things she said is she was like, I want to make my own food. And I said, oh, okay. And so I said, well, what does that look like for you? And she was like, well, can we get a recipe book? So think about things like that. Like let your kids be empowered, you know, let them find recipes and then you learn how to make them a little bit healthier, right? But I always say, don't try to separate it. If you do it all together, it's a
Yeah.
whole lot easier and a whole lot less stressful.
I was gonna say, yeah, get that implemented in them early. Just like it's funny because every time I talk to my kids and stuff like that, I'm like, make sure you at least get some protein in there. And now they're just like, oh, Dad, this guy's protein. Can I have this? It's like,
Nice.
and now my kids are like, oh, I can't have too much sugar before bed. Like
Oh, that's funny.
they're only 6 and 4, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
well, guess we're on a good trend.
I will say, and this has been a very big challenge for me. Now that she's almost 14, very strong-willed, very independent. She has literally gone the whole opposite direction. She wants nothing to do with my protein anymore. She huffs and puffs when I talk about water intake. She huffs and puffs at everything. And so what did I do? I said, okay, let's find you a cookbook. That's all I got, you know, and it has been very, I will say, this, and she's my only one, so I don't have anything to compare it to. I just go by what other people have told me who have older kids. They said eventually it passes, so we'll see how that goes. But I think that's the hardest thing too, is just remembering that our kids are on a journey, right? And so the biggest thing I also tell parents and that I'm having to learn now is don't push them too far, right? Don't keep making them feel like they have to do something, because the more I've kind of gone like this, I know she'll eventually kind of come back, right? I do keep reminding her like, hey, you know, make sure you eat that, you know, like drink some more water so you don't pass out, you know. So that is one thing, because we were all doing it together, and she's kind of over here now, and so that's hard for me because this is what I do for a living, right? Like this is what I do, and I'm like, ugh. Right. So, but that's part of life. And so when I talk to parents that are encountering things like I'm encountering now, I just say, hey, just remember they're on a journey too, right? Like I wasn't always open to receiving information, right? So there's that.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, pretty much, yeah, find a way that they will actually, you know, uh, find it easier or more engaging. For instance, like to get my kids to eat veggies and fruits and stuff like that, we'll cut them up, and we got little plastic little things with characters
Yep.
on them, and they'll just use those to eat them. So yeah, just finding
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
All right, ask your question. All right, Finley has a question. You say,
What's up, Finley?
anybody have a good recipe for donuts? You say that. I like donuts.
I like donuts.
You like donuts?
Yeah, so I got to post in there. Does anybody have a good recipe for some protein donuts or
I just
something
say
like that?
I just say add some really good quality protein in there and spin
To
it
the
all
donut
around.
thing? Yeah.
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 I'll give you
Wicked.
some. You said you put a
Why
question
don't
in there. I'll put some in there for you. But
Wicked.
Yeah, because
yeah,
Wicked.
that's
instead of like buying donuts constantly at like Dunkin's and stuff like that, I was like, we should start making our own donuts, make them a little healthier.
you just make things a little bit healthier,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
and I used to put, well, before my daughter got older and started being able to read and know what I was doing, I could get away with a whole lot more.
Yeah,
I
that's
used
where
to
I'm
make
at.
her,
I want to try to get away with as much as I can now.
I used to make her these super nutritious shakes, right? Like every morning she would have a shake, and it was her choice. I wasn't forcing it on her or anything like that. It was her choice. She loved them, and they would have like spinach in them. They would have like all kinds of stuff, protein, but now she's like, no. Like,
I like smoothies.
Yeah, we
she
do
actually,
smoothies.
here's a funny thing. My daughter actually will bake her own stuff now, just so I can't put protein in it. Isn't that crazy?
Mm.
That's what I'm having to deal with now. I'm like, what? How did we get here?
That's your shame.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just implementing those little simple healthy things, and hiding some spinach here and there in a shake that they don't even know exists. And just doing what you can while you can. And I
Yeah,
will say, go ahead, Omar.
No, I was gonna say because I usually make pancakes on Sundays, but yeah, making
Thanks, Lenny.
those homemade stuff. Thank you, Lenny.
You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
Later.
All right, have a great one.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
And I usually tell people the less ingredients the better, because usually whenever we get things from like the store and stuff like that has a bunch of extra stuff. So making things like homemade, I make banana pancakes, so I mean you get your little potassium in there and stuff like that. Just make it a little bit more interesting, and even with that pancake mix you can make donuts out of it, so doing that
There you
same
go.
deal.
And get your kids involved. I mean, even if your kids are young, like I said, I think that you just got to make it fun, like even though the kids are young, like they still want to be people too, right? And I think sometimes we forget that. I know I did at that age. And, so looking back now, that's one of the things that I wish I had done a lot more, is let her, be more involved in things. So that's why I tell people like, hey, just, get your kids involved and let them do that stuff.
We do pizza nights on Fridays, and we've been starting to make our own pizzas and stuff like that. And so they like to help out. You put the cheese on the pizza, right? Yeah, and the pepperonis.
We do that too. Pizza Friday.
You eat more than you put on there, so yeah. Okay.
I will say I have to make mine with cauliflower crust now, because that's one thing I'm never gonna give up is pizza. So I just try to make it healthier.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I have a quick question, although it might not be so quick. It's a little complicated. My boyfriend lives with me.
No, I'm playing.
My boyfriend lives with me, and before our vacation, he was diagnosed with a very serious case of diverticulitis. It was not fun. He was hospitalized for 5 days. It's been a mess. So yesterday we met with the surgeon, and now he doesn't know if he's going to have surgery or not. They have to do a colonoscopy and go through all that. But we've just been trying to find like a dietitian who can help with what to eat. We've had so many questions as to what he should eat.
Bye,
And
Amy.
he's been really bad with, well, no, in the beginning he had to have like a low fiber diet. And I mean, that was just pasta. And he was we went to Disney and he was eating mac and cheese every day because he didn't want to cause an issue. But yesterday the doctor said that he can start eating, foods with fiber in them. He also said that he would qualify for that sleeve that makes your stomach smaller. But to me, that's intrusive. I don't, I'm not sure about that or not. I would rather look into a healthier lifestyle first and then see.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a reason I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I know someone who had that. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem is that person did not learn how to achieve a healthier lifestyle. Okay. So I think sometimes, and all of us are looking for a magic pill in some way, shape, or form, right? Whether it's sometimes it's business, sometimes it's right. Like we just want it now. Like we don't think about all the work that has to be done. Like I was literally talking to somebody about that this morning, right? Like nobody sees the back end stuff. So with what he's experiencing, I highly, highly recommend seeking out, like you said, like a dietitian, right? It needs to be like a registered dietitian. Like we're nutrition coaches and we can do up, and I'm pretty versed in medical, but once it gets to a certain point, I bring people out to another person because I want to make sure that I'm, doing what I need to do. But I would say definitely implement the fiber very slowly, you know, track what he's eating, write it down, because if anything has a negative effect, you want to know, right? You want to be able to like have a notebook like this or something, or there's apps out there. Like I have my clients tracking an app, right? But you want to be able to see like, okay, what was I eating that could have caused this? All right, so that's something to look into, and you can always reach out to me if you have any other questions or want to know like apps to use or something like that. I think I'm pretty sure Omar has his people. You have people tracking their foods too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important. Like people think that it's this insanely hard thing to do, but it's about learning what your body needs, right? So like he's in a different category where he's experiencing this medical condition, right? So it's not just a physical look. It's about, hey, I need to implement these things. All right, girl, I know you gotta go. Thanks for showing up. But yeah, like, how do I implement these things to where it's gonna help me out in the future? Like I was talking to a girl at the gym this morning and I said, I came up with the saying the other day and I said, lift to see another day. And what that means is we can ego lift. I used to do that. And now I got a bunch of injuries. I can't ego lift anymore, right? But I had to learn how to kind of navigate that, right? That's part of that lifestyle. So it's the same with nutrition. It's no different, right? It's learning what works and what doesn't work. It's learning how to change some things and shift some things, right? So definitely highly recommend before he thinks about doing like any kind of surgery. I'm not saying not to do it, later on, but just make sure if he does it, make sure he's got the habits down. Because what happens is people they'll get the surgery, but they don't have the habits. And so what happens? They're not really learning how to be healthy. They just got a surgery and then they start gaining weight again and they're like, what's going on? Well, it's because you didn't learn what you needed to learn to keep it off. All right. So does that help? Does that answer your question at all?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like, because we were talking about something similar to this, but just making sure you kind of get rid of some of the stuff that you don't need around the house, because I mean, it's gonna get dug into one way or another. Somebody's gonna get into it, and I mean, if there is a time where like you want to treat yourself, just get for that one time. Don't get don't get like family sizes or anything like that. Just because the biggest thing is also, making sure we get the right portions. And sometimes we get carried away, just making sure we monitor the amount and keep a close eye. Because people think like, oh, I'm not eating that much, or oh, I'm getting enough of this nutrient. But are you really? Have you really dug into it? I was talking to somebody just yesterday about protein. It's like, oh yeah, I have enough protein. And I was like, all right, how much? And they were like, oh, I have this much. I was like, so how much is that in protein? It's like, oh, yeah, exactly. You're not sure. So
yeah,
just making sure you really dig into it and make sure those proper nutrients are getting implemented correctly. Because like I said, you don't know by just guessing. You actually got to do the research and size it up right.
Yeah. And if you want, I mean, I have a ton of information on this stuff too, and I actually have a whole chapter in my book about nutrition, but and how to start implementing those healthier habits. But if you want, I was gonna say, just shoot me a message on Convene or something like that, and I can send you some stuff, or post something on the health and wellness community, and we'll put some stuff out there to help you out, because we've been doing this stuff for a while. I know I've been doing this stuff I started nutrition 2007. So it's been a while, and I learned protein for brain health. My mom had MS, so it wasn't to achieve a physical look. It was more for health, medical stuff. But yeah. So just reach out, post something, ask the question. Invite him in. He can come in, post a question. You can post it anonymously if he doesn't want his name attached. But that's the whole purpose of this. It's being able to, grow out a community of people that really want to support people on their journey.
Awesome.
And I'm hoping to eventually get a registered dietitian to the platform so we can have an easy, like, yes, here. Like, so hopefully that'll come. If you know any, please send them our way. Because we would love to have, that's what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build a community of professionals who, when you have a question like that, we have an immediate go-to, like, hey, go work. We've already vetted them, right? You don't have to vet them at that point. We've already vetted them. We know that they're great. Like, hey, okay, go over here. But yeah, so hopefully, you guys can come in and just be a part of the thing that we're trying to build out. But yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle change. It's learning those habits. And like Omar was saying, I have people tell me that all the time, like, I'm eating enough or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you? I don't know. Right. It's kind of like, and I used to be a lab tech too. And so when people I had this lady in the sauna, all this just out of the blue, we were kind of talking and she said, she asked me about something, a micronutrient being good for fatty liver. And I said, well, do you have fatty liver? And she said, I don't think so, but I can't lose weight. So I said, okay. Right. And that just started a conversation. But that was kind of the thing where it's like, everybody just goes one direction. And it's like, you got to get to the root of the problem. Like, first, we got to know what's coming into your body. And so I asked her, I said, have you had your lab done? Because if you don't know what's going on internally, you don't know how to fix it. All right. Like, we're just guessing. Everybody's just guessing. And then with nutrition, I always say that's your fuel gauge. Well, in a car, you have your gauge that you can see. It's right in front of you. In your body, you don't have that. So you kind of got to track your food so you can see that's your gauge. You have the ability to do it now. And now we have apps that help us do it. When I first started in this, it was all paper and pen. I was doing calculations like, I was like, oh, this is why I did math in school, right? Like, so it's a whole lot easier now. There's really no reason that people can't do it. It's just the desire to want to. So hopefully he'll develop that desire and, learn the things that need to be learned. So,
thank you.
Does that help you a little bit? You're welcome.
It does. Yeah. Thank you. I'm still also understanding the lay of the land with the website. So
yes,
I'll definitely take a look at those videos because I still don't really understand how it all works.
And you won't.
I created things and I can't even find them now. So
well, and that can be, a side call. Like I said, just message me or something like that. We've been on here a little bit longer, and then Matt will link up with you too. If that's something that he needs to link up with, because he wants everybody to succeed here too. Omar's been on a bunch of calls with him. I'm on calls with him all the time. So just know, again, you're not by yourself. But definitely watch those videos because they do kind of make it a little bit more clear.
Okay.
So I always tell people, time block and watch the videos, and then that way you can actually learn a little bit more. But you have people to reach out to, so just ask questions when you need to.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. I know we went a little bit over, but I appreciate you guys for showing up. Omar, do you have any final thoughts or anything?
No, I was actually just gonna talk to you about something.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that means we need to stay on. All right.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you showing up, and we will hopefully we'll see you next time. Make sure you come to the Monday night calls too.
Okay.
Yeah, because the more you're on the calls and the more you're seeing it, the more you'll learn too. That's what helped me out.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for staying
again,
on.
Ashley. You're welcome. All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.